That's a lot of stuff going on there, Robin. Are you literally putting down something to soak up your tears?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so we're going to start off with a little anterior compartment smash. So this is the fun bit. If you just all find your collarbone for me, can't miss it. If you just come down the neck, it's this bone at the top that's going to go across from, it actually comes all the way up into the shoulder here and across here. We're going to pop a ball underneath here, and we're going to be working all the way across and then into the shoulder here. This is going to be quite a bad bit there. What we're going to do with this is we're going to get down on the floor. We'll pop this ball in there, and we're going to be coming into this overhead position. So again, with this, if you're overhead position, or if you're like this and you're so inflexible, your chest doesn't touch the floor, then you can pop a block underneath here. That lifts that ball up, and then that will not only allow you to get more pressure into it, but if you have that poor mobility, it means that your hand can actually lift up off the floor. Okay. All right, let's get in position, shall we, lovely people? All right, so feel all the way along that collarbone, come into just where it joins into your sternum almost, and we're going to pop some weight into it here. And what you're going to do, you're going to bring your hand overhead here, and we're going to be like we're making a snow angel. So you're going to bring that hand all the way down to your side, and then if you can, you're going to turn the hand over and bring it behind your back into a small of the back, and then we're going to come back overhead. Okay, try and keep fairly constant pressure to start off with. Thinking, oh, this is not too bad just yet. This is fine. Okay, if you can have your hand just hover off the floor, that's perfect. We'll do one more little pass, and then we're going to move that ball outwards a little bit. So we're going to move along underneath the collarbone about 4 or 5 centimeters, so that you're just about a quarter to a third of the way across your collarbone. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing again. Try and keep that arm nice and straight. Keep your movements nice and slow. Jenny, how's that unforgiving hockey ball?
All right.
Okay. There's no crying yet, so that's good.
Yeah. I might be joining Robinson though.
That's fine. I hear misery loves company. Right, let's move the ball halfway along. Get it in there. Need that block. Move it along again a little bit for me. This is just to loosen up this tissue before we get into some nasty stuff in a minute. So I want you to move the ball all the way to the end of your collarbone. So it's at the joint between the collarbone and the shoulder. Okay. And then if you can, raise that ball up a little bit. You can either pop it on your fist, or if you have a block handy, pop it on that. And we're going to rotate. So bring that hand out to the side for me. Just out. And you're just going to rotate. So you get a slight movement into that ball, okay? Almost like you're trying to do a one-handed press up on the other side. So press yourself up, slightly rotate. You should feel the muscles start to stretch, and try and keep as much pressure on the ball as you can. Okay, now that hand that's outstretched, I want you to push it into the floor as hard as you can, and then rotate in and relax down into the ball. So you feel it go deeper into the muscle. Slowly rotate and come back again. Excellent. All right, bring that ball out. Now, have you all got your block handy? We're going to start working down the chest. All right, so we're going to be working all of this tissue here. And basically, you're going to be working wherever you hurt. So I'm not going to tell you where to put the ball. You're just going to be moving across your pec, finding out where it hurts most. And it's going to be a very similar movement. I say similar, almost exactly the same, in fact. You can start by your sternum here, find a bit of your pec, coming onto that ball here, and then, oh, I have regrets. Okay. And then we're going to bring that hand overhead and down. And you're just going to find the bits that hurt the most. So you're going to be hunting around in your pec for tightness. You're going to spend a solid 2 minutes on each pec. All right. So I want you to spend some quality time getting in there. If you find a particularly bad bit, squeeze the pec so it tightens up and then relax down onto the ball. So you can get that ball deeper into the muscle. Keep moving around that pec. Look for the bad bits. Just stay on one point for 2 minutes. If you feel like you need to get a bit more pressure in, you can lift your bum up into the air and try and push a bit more in that way. So if you come onto your knees and just lean into that ball a bit more, that will increase that pressure. If you need to. I don't feel like I need to. Just another few seconds, guys. So if you need to revisit something particularly painful, go back to it now. All right, and relax. I'm going to change sides. I'm going to get in underneath this collarbone on the left-hand side. So find that collarbone, come underneath it, all the way up to the sternum to start off with. Get that ball up on the block still if you have it there. And then into that snow angel, hand behind the back. Then move along a little bit, a few centimeters. Don't forget to keep feeling for that collarbone so you can really get that ball snuggled up underneath it. And then move along again. Let's move that ball all the way along the end of the collarbone where it comes into the shoulder. Get that ball in. So remember, this time that hand is going out to the side. Other hand is coming up, and we're rolling, twisting on that ball. It's like trying to one-handed push-up again. And then we're going to push down that arm that's straight, push it into the floor hard, feel that pec tighten up, roll in, and then relax down onto the ball. Hold for a couple of seconds, let it sink in, and then start again. Excellent. All right, so let's bring that ball down a little bit lower, and this is going to be about solid 2 minutes of just working around that whole pec. Same thing again, I just want you to find the bad bits. Remember, for the bit that hurts a lot, tighten up that pec and relax down so the ball can get in a little bit deeper and just stay on the sore bit a little bit longer, all right? Stay on it until it hurts less. Or you start crying, Robin. If you start crying, you can move on to the next bit, all right? So get that ball in and just look for the sore bits. Okay, so another few more seconds, so find the bad bits. Oh, that's good. I looked up just in time to see Jenny start crying. That was good. Good little face there. Even Alan's forehead looks in pain. There we go.
He is in pain.
Sorry? All right. Whew. Let's take that ball out of those pecs. Oh. I'm not going to lie, that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. All this chest stretching must be helping. Oh. I think last time we did something like that was, what, about 6 weeks ago? That was awful. I felt all right. Okay, so we're going to have a look at doing some stuff on the back of your shoulder compartment here. Okay, so if you feel behind your back, behind this shoulder, you've got your traps coming down here, and you'll feel your scapula, all right, your shoulder bone, shoulder blade just here. So there's a little bit, if you trace it up here, there's a little hollow point almost between all sorts of little bits of tissue. Can you all feel a little dent in there, a little hollow? You can just stare at me, it's okay, I don't need answers, that's fine. All right, so what we're gonna do, if I show you here, we're gonna be popping this ball here. So if you look at where that is roughly. All right, it doesn't have to be precise, the ball will find where it wants to go. So from here, what we're gonna do is the elbow is level with the shoulder, and I'm gonna rotate my hips so more of my weight is being driven onto the shoulder, and then I'm going to try and move the hand down and back up. What I don't want to do, you can't really see my shoulder at all, sorry. That was a bad angle. Someone could have shouted out. So what we don't want to see is here, I don't want you trying to force the hand down so that your shoulder pops up off the ball. We're trying to keep as much pressure on this ball as possible, and then we're just going to move backwards and forwards for probably a minute or so on that little bit there. Is anybody confused? Do you all know where the ball's going? Now or forever hold your peace. Excellent, that seems peaceful. Brilliant, so let's get that ball in there. Pop it in. It should snuggle in there just above the shoulder blade. And we're going to rotate those hips towards the ball. Bring that left shoulder up and roll so you get more weight going into that ball. All right, and from here, keeping the pressure constant, we're just going to move the hand backwards and forwards. If you find that moving the hand backwards doesn't hurt at all, there's no discomfort, then I want you to find the point of the most discomfort and just move in and out of it. Okay? So don't bother working the area where there's no discomfort and no stickiness. Just go to those bits you don't want to be in. All right, off we come. Let's change sides. Find that nice little bit behind the shoulder. Rotate in. Try and get as much of your body weight onto that ball as you can. Okay. And then slowly backwards and forwards, finding the discomfort. Okay, off we come. Oh, James, where'd you come from? You've been hiding there all the time. Oh, creepy. I like it. Okay, so this is loosening off into a few of these rotator cuffs, which can help with this overhead position, as can smashing all of this tight tissue, because obviously if your chest is tight and getting your hands overhead is going to be tricky. So now we're going to work on these horrible, horrible muscles here, our traps. Okay, we're going to be doing a trap scrub, which I know is everybody's favorite thing in the world to do. And nobody ever cries doing it ever. So what we're going to do is, who's not done this before? Jenny, you've not done this. John, you've done this. I've seen you cry. I think everyone else. All right, cool. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working down one side. The ball is going to start here. It's going to move down to the middle of the shoulder blade, and then finally will be at the bottom of the shoulder blade, just about here. Right? The ball wants to stay between the spine and the shoulder blade, and the movement we're going to do is going to be, it's going to be sort of like this. So we're going to have this sexy little thing going on here, all right, like a 3-year-old trying to drive a bus. Okay, and what we're going to do is get as much weight onto the ball as possible. So I'm going to pop this into my trap here, okay, and then from here I'm going to bridge. So I'm going to lift my hips up as high as I can to get as much weight onto that ball. I'm going to put my hands up. I'm going to actively reach so I can feel those shoulder blades start to pull apart. And then we get this sexy little movement going on. All right. And we're going to do that in each of those 3 positions. Okay. Any questions? Will Peachy?
How high are you starting?
Sorry?
How high up on your back are you starting? So
literally, if you take hold of your trap here,
yep,
pretty much feel where your fingers get on the other side of it when you go to pinch it, about
yep,
there. Yeah, so about that far down.
yep.
2 thumbs down, all right? And then just work down. If it doesn't hurt, you're in the wrong place.
I'm sure it'll hurt.
Sure it will. All right, let's get to it. So if you guys feel any numbness in your jaw, that's fine. That's normal for this movement, all right? Hands up, hips up, as much weight into that ball as possible, and then give me that shimmy. If you want to make it a little bit more intense, you can put your chin on your chest. If that's too much, you can relax your head down to the floor. Okay, and relax. So stay on the ball, and you're just gonna move your body upwards about, I don't know, 10 centimeters. So you should feel that ball move to about halfway down your scapula, all right? You'll know you're in the right place because it's gonna start to feel very uncomfortable straight away. Hips back up in the air. That was the right noise. Reach up high. Hold for a second, let your body get used to that pressure, and then slowly start the jiggle. And relax. Deep breath. We're going to move up again, so you feel that snuggle into the bottom of your shoulder blade. All right. Chin up on your chest, look at your knees. And let's lift those hips up, hands up. And give it a little wiggle. I take it we found the right place then, yeah?
My hamstring just went into severe cramp.
It's a defense reaction. And relax. Oh, come up off the ball for a second. We're going to go down the other side, all right? So, pop that ball down on the left. I'll give you another couple of seconds. A couple of you looking a bit shell-shocked there. All right, ball in on the left here. Come down. Plug it into that shoulder blade. Feet up to the bum. Hips up. Now pull as high as you can and get your wiggle on. And relax. Yep, so the ball moves halfway down your shoulder blade. Have a little wiggle around. Make sure it's sitting nicely as close to that shoulder blade as you can. Hips up. Hands up to the ceiling. Get used to that pressure. And then start to wiggle slowly. Relax. And we're going to move up. So that ball sits at the back. Sorry, at the bottom of your shoulder blade again. Okay. Look at your knees. Hips up. Reach up high. And off you go. And off you get. Oh my. All right. So we've got one more thing to do tonight. We're going to get into our lats. All right. This is going to be quite intense again. We've done this before, but we're going to make this a little bit less comfortable than it has been in the past. All right. You're going to need your block. You're going to need your ball. And we're going to combine the two. So we're going to be working across into the lats here, these nice big chunky bits. All right, so what we're going to do, we support the ball, move back a bit so you can see more. Yeah, I'm going to get as much of my body weight as I can onto the ball. I'm going to lift my hand up and small rotations across that ball. You may have to move it. It might be a bit difficult to get it to go over the main body of the lat, so you're going to have to move it around until you find the good bits. All right, and we're going to work our way down there a little bit. Anyone been doing a lot of pull-ups recently? No?
Can you use a grid roller?
No, we're doing a movement. No, we're going to get deeper into that muscle. So, you get that ball into that lat. Okay. And I want your hand up off the floor. No floor there. Let that ball sink in and just movements backwards and forward. Feeling that ball push into the lat. So once you've been on a bit for a while and it stops hurting, move that ball somewhere else. Find another bit that hurts and get some pressure onto it. It's going to be a little bit like when we did the pec. I want you to just search around for the bad bits. Some of the worst bits are going to be closer to the armpit. All right? Oh. Don't forget to move the ball backwards so you can get into the back part of that lat as well. Don't just hang around at the front close to the chest. Oh. Remember, keep that hand overhead off the floor and just keep trying to get as much pressure into that ball as possible. Oh. Right, shake it off. We're going to change sides. Oh my. So right up there into that big body of your lat. Get that hand overhead off the floor and just small movements. Find the bits that hurt and stay on them until they don't hurt as much, or you go numb. All right, and come on off. Oh. Right, that is us for tonight, guys. I think that's probably enough pain for everyone. Nice and loosey-goosey, hopefully. Try your overhead, see if it's less painful than normal. Anybody got any questions? I can hang around for a few minutes afterwards. Otherwise, I'll see you on Friday, where I think I've got, we've got some special stuff for the wrists and hands, all right? So if you're having any problems with your forearms, any sort of wrist pain, forearm pain, elbow pain, it's a good one to come in for, all right? Sweet. All right, guys, I will see you all on Friday.
Thank you.